The water. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, Shalom, Israel. How about Shema Sharp the thumb? How Shema Thumb by Shema Shah? I am Priest and Officer 5,000. You're dying, holding it down till 12 Shield General MAHAYAMAN gets here. Listen, man, that's Latinos, Native Americans, and Black men and women. We got to understand, man. We got to come out of the world. We got to come out of America, this way of thinking. You know what I mean? This world is getting more diabolical by the day. Y'all. You know what the day is, right? Today is MLK Day, Michael Luther King Day. You know what I mean? Understand something. I said Michael for a reason because that's his real name. His father changed his name and his own name from Michael, you know what I mean, to Martin Luther after the evangelical. You know what I mean? Michael Luther. The real name is Michael King. Let me tell you something. One of the worst things that our people ever could have done was integrate into this society. And God is against that. God is against integration. The Most High does not want us to be all together, all kumbaya with all these other nations, man. I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show you, you know what I mean, that what Michael King said and to prove him to be, you know what I mean, a false prophet, a false reverend. And what is so heavy about it, Ibad, you know what I mean, our people revere him like he was some type of great man. He was not. He was not. What he did and what he pushed for our people was one of the worst things that ever could have happened. And I'm going to show you in the Bible that we're not supposed to integrate. First of all, let me get Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. If y'all have questions, type your questions in the chat. General MAHAYAMAN will be here shortly to answer all your questions. But first, let me get the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
Listen, when the Lord said, ye shall be holy unto me, the word holy means to be separate. The word holy means to be set apart. Our God is telling the children of Israel who are Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women that we should be separate unto me. Read on.
Okay. For I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning the Most High is separate. The Most High is holy. The Most High does not love everybody. That's a lie that they've been telling us for far too long, everybody. That God loves everybody. Salvation is for everyone. That is nowhere in the Bible. Our God is telling the children of Israel, that ye shall be holy unto me. For I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning the Most High is separate. Most High is separate. And in knowing that the Most High is separate, and he made us holy unto him, separate unto him, who does that disqualify? That disqualifies the oppressor. That disqualifies the Arab, the African, the Asians, the so-called Jew in their tunnels, Mathabiyah. I still ain't get over that. We can go over that in a little bit. And that's insanity. Got a whole tunnel system. It's a whole, it's a rat infestation in New York City. A rat infestation in New York City, and I'm not talking about the rodents. Good night. Understand something, man. Our God told us that we should be separate unto him. For I, the Lord, am separate. Now, if they would have understood that, right? If Michael King would have understood that, MLK, Martin Luther, he'd understood that. We ain't supposed to be integrating with everybody. We ain't supposed to be all kumbaya with everyone. And General MAHAYAMAN is going to break this down further. It was really about jobs. That's what it really was. With the whole civil rights, you know what I mean, movement, you know what I mean? It was not about what you think it is. And everyone else benefited from it except for our people. He even said it towards the end of his life, where he said, I fear I integrated my people into a burning house. This is a burning house. It's a burning house indeed. And we ain't got no business being a part of it. The scriptures say, Matham hold Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. You know what I mean? To never trust our enemy. And we're going to go to that in a second. We was never supposed to trust the oppressor. We was never supposed to trust these heathens. We supposed to be separate. Keep going.
Oh God. And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. If my arm gets severed from my body, is no longer attached. Our God severed us from other people. We're supposed to be separate from the oppressor, separate from the African, separate from the Arab, man. How come everybody else? And this is something I was, big up to Preaching Officer 5000, Kazak Ahmad. He brought up a good point. I was on TikTok. He was breaking down. Hold on 1 second, I thought. Shalom, sir. I'm teaching the class, sir. Come on, sir. Come on, no question. Thumb you up. Hey, for a second. Read Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26 on the top again, I brought.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy.
I, the Lord, am holy. The Lord is separate. Read.
And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. Severed us from the East Indian. How come the East Indian get to have Bollywood? You ever wondered that? How come the East Indian get to have Bollywood, man? They got their own little separate community. So do the Arabs. So do the Asians. The Asians come in our community, I buy it, and make tens of thousands of dollars a week off of selling us 4 wings and fried rice.
Right.
Selling us Tom and Jerry. That's what they selling us. They're selling us Tom and Jerry. And then you wondering why you sick eating that wonton soup and wonder why it costs $1. I understand. But here's the problem. These other nations, they come, you know what I mean, and they separate themselves from us. They come and set up in our neighborhoods and set up businesses, make tens of thousands of dollars and pour it back in their communities. We can't go to Little Italy and open up a little pizza restaurant. We can't go to Chinatown. Could you imagine, if we went to Chinatown and tried to open up a restaurant? We wouldn't get patronized at all. We wouldn't be allowed to rent a property in Chinatown to even do that. Our God severed us from other people, severed us from them. We ain't supposed to be all together. Let me tell you something. I'm from Southwest Philadelphia. It's, 60th and King Cecil. Let me tell you something. The card tell you, you know what I mean? Now y'all will tell you, we from the same, you know what I mean? Up there on Woodland Avenue, that whole strip, it's the United Nation of the Wakanda, of the Congo. And it didn't used to be like that. When I was coming up as a kid, there was a lot of West Indian shops, a lot of black-owned, stores and restaurants. You know what I mean? That was Judah and Benjamin owned. Not no more. Not no more. It's the Congo now, I bought it, and the smell is something vicious. Shalom, boy. The smell is something crazy. Like if you lost your smell, if you had COVID and you go right down that street, it'll come back to you. It's a lot. It's a rough spot. It's a rough situation. But our God severed us from other people for great reason. Read.
Oh God. That ye should be mine.
That ye should be mine. That ye should be mine. Because we belong to the Most High. We don't belong to everybody. That was one of the biggest mistakes we could have ever made. One of the biggest mistakes. Thinking that we can join on to the oppressor and everything was going to be all right. That everything was going to be cool. And even the system that he employed was Gandhi's system. And Gandhi hated blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. I pray you understand that. He ain't who he thought, he ain't who y'all think he was, neither. Gandhi hated our people. And how you know that? Because East Indians hate us today. Go up there and try to call one of them black. Oh my goodness. Next time you go in Dunkin' Donuts or 7-Eleven. See, that's the problem, my boy. Like Marah said, I don't know who in there. I don't know if it's Ishmael or Moab. All I know is go in 7-Eleven and Dunkin' Donuts and try to call one of them black and watch what happens. Be darker than you and me. But guess what? All skin folk ain't kinfolk. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And what I mean is they not our people. Just because you got melanin, that's what a lot of y'all problems is, the Umars of the world, the so-called, you know what I mean, uppity Negro that think they are Pan-Africanists. You know what I mean? You think, you know what I mean, all skin folk is kinfolk. That is not true. That is not true. And you will be sadly mistaken. Our God severed us from them. And guess what? Africans don't associate themselves with us. They don't. They don't do it. Arabs don't do it. They'll rob you. They'll come in the community and make tens of thousands of dollars off of us, but they'll never accept us. Why? Because we're not them. We're better than them. Better than them. And that's what we have to understand. The problem is we trusted these heathens. And what did our God say? You got what I asked for in Ecclesiasticus? 12 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10.
You want to could you hold Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 25? Both control. For what? Go ahead,
Oh God. Never trust thine enemy.
The Lord told us to never trust thy enemy. That's our problem. We trust the oppressor. Even here now, like you want to we was on TikTok doing our podcast, and it's this brother, it's this Latino brother that's gonna remain nameless. We nicknamed him Benzito. It's a funny long story I'll tell later. Now, he coming there capping for the oppressor every week. Yeah, I mean, not just hating on other Judites, and his weight is so heavy, he hate other Issacharites. The brother, you know what I mean, Issachar, hate Zebulon, hate Judah. But he loved the oppressor, love the white man though. Kiss the rear, I ain't gonna cuss, but he's got babies in the room. Will kiss the rear end of they behind each and every day. And putting his trust in our people, and those people, man. And not wanting to put your trust in our own. But our God said, never trust thy enemy. Problem is you trust the oppressor. You trust him. Like you treat the oppressor like he family, and you treat your own like they garbage. And our God said, what? Never trust thy what?
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thy enemy. Meaning we never was supposed to trust the oppressor. We was never supposed to trust these heathens because they are our enemies. Somebody should have told Martin Luther King that. Said never trust thy enemy. How you should know you shouldn't have trusted your enemy? You trusted the oppressor, and he rewarded you with what? All of the he appeased to all your proclivities. Yeah, you know what I mean? He allowed you to run roughshod in them hotels with men and women, and oppressor women and oppressor men. You know what I mean? Muhammad gonna go into the details a little later. We got the article. Martin Luther King was having orgies in Wanathan. They ain't gonna teach you that in school. They ain't gonna show you. They ain't teach me that in history class. I had to come into the I.S.U.P.K. and learn. This was public knowledge. It was a whole deviant. A whole deviant. And because he trusted the oppressor, look what happened. What ended up happening towards, you know what I mean, the end? He ended up regretting it. Regretting it. That's why he said, you know what I mean, after I integrated my people into a burning house. And even at his death, that was the Lord. And we're going to go into that as well. But he should have known to never trust thy enemy. That's what our God said. The Lord ain't tough. Could you imagine if David would have trusted Goliath? Could you imagine that, Ibad? Can you imagine that? That's been one of our thorns since the beginning, trusting these heathens. Trusting them, putting your faith in them and not the Holy One of Israel, like Isaiah says. You trusting in chariots, you trusting in the oppressor and what they can offer. The Lord said, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. And our God told us in Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, never trust thy enemy, read.
For like as iron rusteth.
For like as iron rusteth, because iron will eventually rust over time. Eventually iron will rust, read.
Oh God. So is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. So like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Meaning he can't help it. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He can't help himself. That's just how he is. Drop down to verse 16.
Go. Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
Oh, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Oh, It sounds good. And let me tell you something about the oppressor that you need to understand. The oppressor, the scriptures say in Psalm that his words was like butter, but war was in his heart. War was in his mind. When you at that job, that elevator plantation, that slavery, when they talking nice to you, to me, good morning, good morning, good morning, T. Good morning, Shaquia. Oh, yes, we having a great day. Did you want some breakfast? I'm getting ready to go. Talking nice to you. Those the ones you really gotta watch. He gonna speak sweetly with his lips. He gonna speak sweetly. He gonna talk nice to you, but read.
Come. But in his heart.
But in his heart, in his mind, read.
He imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
But in his mind, he imagined how he can throw you into a pit. He thinking about how he can get rid of you, how he can throw you in that pit and get away with it. That's what they be thinking about, you want to They be sitting there talking nice to you, you know what I mean, to giving you compliments and everything. And he's a deviant himself. You gotta watch the oppressor right now. And they'll sit up there, you know what I mean, and they might, in the back of their mind, they plotting on you, man. Because the problem is we've been conditioned to think that that fellow black man and woman, that fellow Latino man and woman is your op, your real op, your real opposition, your real enemy is the oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El hombre blanco es el diablo.
Right.
That's our real enemy. He's the real op. And that's something that MLK didn't understand. Not until the end. And it's unfortunate. So Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohanna. We know who our enemies are. We know. They out there living their free, white, and 21 lives. And let me show you something. Give me Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 25. You want to know.
Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that the prophets said that prophecy lies in my name.
The Lord said, I heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. The Lord said, I heard what the prophets have said, which prophesy lies in my name. Meaning he hear these false prophets. He hear what they talking about. Read.
Saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
I have what?
Dreamed.
I have dreamed. I have dreamed. Who's that talking about? Martin Luther King. That's who that's talking about. It's talking about them prophets that prophesy lies in the Lord's name. It's talking about I have dreamed. I have dreamed. That's your Martin Luther King. That's him. Prophesying lies. Prophesying lies. Read.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
How long shall this be in the heart, in the mind of the prophets that prophesy lies? That prophesy lies. Because he prophesying lies, telling you, I had a dream. And I have a dream speech, Shalom Warrior, Lord of Christ. Wasn't even his. Somebody else wrote that for him. But little did he know, he's supposed to be a reverend Quatazal. He's supposed to be Reverend Martin Luther King. Reverend. The good reverend. Out there messing with the oppressor's daughter and the oppressor. Chasing. I'm about to pull the article. They said he was chasing she devils and men all throughout that hotel, man. God damn. So while Watergate was going on with Nixon, he had a I ain't gonna say it quite as we'll say that for the show. But God is dead. He was having his own Watergate. It's a lot. His own Milkgate. That's a rough situation, quite as I can ride. Understand something. When they say how long shall it be in the hearts of the prophets that prophesy lies, yea, they are the prophets of deceit of their own heart. Meaning they prophesy lies in their own mind. First of all, God is against us coming together, you know what I mean, with our enemies, with these heathens, man. Most High ain't with little oppressor daughters, you know what I mean, and our daughters coming together, our sons and their sons coming together, you know what I mean, drinking from the river of prosperity. Listen, The scriptures say, get this for me in Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's 43. First off, we are in captivity. We are in captivity. We're supposed to be up here, and the oppressor is supposed to be down there. But the role is switched. We're going to go into that. So how can we both sit and prosper? It can't happen. It can't happen. First of all, the oppressor is not a just man and has never been. He was a wicked man from birth. That ain't even in his mind. Keep going. Read what you got.
Oh God, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse
43.
43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high. These heathen have got above us very high. They on top of us right now. They are, listen, don't call him the oppressor for nothing. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He done got up very high. Read.
Oh God. And thou shalt come down very low.
And thou shalt come down very low. We are at the bottom. The bottom of society. The bottom. So how can we walk in prosperity with our enemies? Scriptures say that you never seek to have peace with them, Jonathan. You can't have peace with the oppressor. He don't even know what peace is. He ain't been at peace with anyone at all. And that's what we have to realize. That's what we have to realize, man. He has not had, you know what I mean? He's incapable of it. Like, he is the evil bastard by nature. And this is who you want us to come together with. This is who you want us to be together in prosperity with. It can't happen. It can't. I'm going to tell you what real prosperity is going to be. Hey, Bob, give me 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. Come. This is when it's going to happen.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54.
No, 6 and 9. 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, the 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. Listen, man. The oppressive society, his age of society, his world is coming to an end. When we are really going to be prosperous, I pray you understand this, when he is at his end. He at his end right now. He at his end right now. When he's going to be at the bottom. When he's going to be at the bottom of society. Keep going. And Christ is king. Keep going.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Meaning this, and listen, and Jacob being the beginning of it that follows, Israel, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And guess what? When Christ is in rulership of this earth, I pray you understand. That's when we're really going to be prosperous. When we are up here, Black, Latino, and Native Indian man and woman, and these other nations, especially Esau at the very bottom. That's when things are going to be even in the Lord's eyes. Because right now, everybody's above us. Everyone is above us. Everybody. Everybody, you know what I mean, is getting justice. Everybody, you know what I mean, is getting, you know what I mean, restitution. Ours is going to come in the form of our king, a black man by the name of Yahawashi Mashiach, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ. When he returns for 200 million nigger angels and lays waste to the oppressor in this world.
Right.
For Esau is the end of the world. His society is coming to an end. Someone should have told Martin Luther King that his world's coming to an end. And ours is on the rise. And ours is going to be a just society. A just society. You know what ain't going to happen? There ain't going to be no secret tunnels. I pray you understand that.
Right.
There ain't going to be no secret tunnels to where the so-called Jew can waddle about and scurry up out of the ground like rats. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with them. They ain't going to be able to do that. I saw that. Listen, I don't know if y'all saw, man. I saw the inside of those tunnels, man. They had baby carriages and strollers down there and beds. God knows, Lord knows they down there doing their own business. Like, goddamn. They ain't gonna be able to do that in our kingdom. There ain't gonna be no underground tunnels. I pray you understand. We're gonna put a stop to that. There ain't gonna be none of that. There ain't gonna be no conflict. It ain't gonna be, you know what I mean, no uprising, you know what I mean, and no rebellion from these heathens. I pray you understand. And they are going to rejoice at it. Hey, Bob, give me the precept and Proverbs.
Right.
When the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice. All right, Bob, you can give me I believe it's Deuteronomy 18. And Bobbity. Deuteronomy 18 and verse, or is it 13? It might be 13. I think it's 13. But some of y'all, you give me what you got first.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2.
13 and 1, I bought. Go ahead, Mathania.
Come.
Deuteronomy 13 and 1. Go ahead, Mathania.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Everyone is going to rejoice when Christ is ruling the earth. And the 144,000, we rule under Christ. That 144,000 rule under Christ, man, everyone is going to rejoice. I pray you understand.
Right.
That's what I don't understand about you brothers that want to love the oppressor, that want to love these heathens. Just don't listen. Why you would want to love them is beyond me. It's beyond me. But if you want to love them in the kingdom, they're going to be under you. They're going to be slaves, servants, pets. God damn. Love them in that day. I pray you understand. That's the only time where it's going to be acceptable. You look foolish today. I pray you understand. When we rule, everyone is going to rejoice.
Right.
When the righteous, and understand that the righteous also tells you that other man, that Ishmael, the Jewish man, that he ain't the real Jew, because he ain't righteous. He ain't righteous. The oppressor is because the oppressor could never be righteous.
Right.
But if you just look at his history, look at his track record, and everything that he has done to blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's why the entire earth is going to rejoice when we're in rulership. Keep going.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Because the oppressor is in charge, everybody is mourning. Everybody is going through it right now because this evil bastard is in charge. That's why it's going to be a beautiful thing when our King returns. And Christians, they are going to have a rude awakening. Those of our people that don't want to get down, they don't want to get right now, I pray you understand that we pray the Lord has mercy on you still. But it's going to be a rough time, man. I think the worst thing you could ever hear is Christ saying, get away from me. I ain't never know you, man. I might give up the spirit out my thumb yard. I think I'd go just like that. That's a rough spot. And a lot of our people, you know what I mean, don't even peep. You up there in that church listening to that sodomite pastor talk about have you ever been swallowed up. Like, God damn. Like, I watched the whole video with them, y'all. He was confessing. He was confessing to be a sodomite. And that's what you approve. If you look up, you know what I mean, the real history of Martin Luther King, a.k.a. Michael King, he was a sexual deviant, an evil bastard. And now, and it's sad, too. You know what I mean? It's so sad when you think about it. Because a lot of our people revere him. You revere him like he was this honorable brother, and he was not. He did our people a disservice. Did our God a disservice. Can we Deuteronomy 13 and verse 1?
Okay. Listen to the book of Deuteronomy 13, verse 1.
Go ahead.
If there arise among you a prophet.
If there arise among you a prophet, read.
Or a dreamer of dreams.
Or what?
Dreamer of dreams.
A dreamer of dreams. I wonder if he knew this was in the Bible. He didn't. He had no idea. He's supposed to be the reverend of some guy. A lot of your pastors, a lot of your reverends, a lot of your so-called priests, because they're not real priests, they have no idea this is even here. It says, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, read.
and giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
Giving thee a sign or a wonder. Giving you a sign or a wonder. You know what I mean? And it was, listen, if you think about it, one of the amazing things that I noticed from that, right? And why it was such a disservice. Like my thumb, like the Montgomery bus boycott.
Right.
That started off so amazing. Hey, Shalom, you want to take the class? Started off amazing because if you really think about it, we should own every bus company in America.
Right.
That should be, like Commander Gen.YAHANNA said, that should be our thing. For our people to come together and be like, yo, we just not going to ride the bus. We're going to carpool. We're going to walk. We're going to ride our own buses. What happened to the black bus company after we integrated and after we did that, man? That's why when you look at, you know what I mean, Martin Luther King, Michael King, it was such a disservice. Like the sign of the wonder, our people coming together like that, our people coming together and seemingly sticking together and not following through. Because you had a lot of our people coming up down from the South that came up from Alabama, that came up from Georgia, that made it all the way up to D.C. during the March on Washington. And guess what? That's the sign of the wonder. Now read.
Okay. Verse 2. And thy sign or wonder come to pass.
It came to pass. It came to pass. That 1,000,000-man march on Washington. You want to know why there's so many? Listen, Captain Akash from D.C. I mean, Captain Shapar, Captain Soccer War. You know how a lot of our brothers and sisters got to D.C., on how it became Chocolate City? Because a lot of our people migrated from the South all the way up there and didn't have a way to get back. So we just said, you know what? We're just going to take over D.C. We're just going to live in. We're going to live in D.C. We're going to live in Baltimore. We're going to live in Philly. We're going to live in New York. And the sign of wonder come to pass, read.
Well, he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods.
Let us go after other gods. Let's go follow after the oppressor. Let's integrate with him. Follow up on ya. Barak.
Clap it up. What's going on out here, my wife here? Ready to rock. Ready to teach the class, answer your questions. When you're up, I'm up, all right? We'll get it on tonight. We're going to Martin Luther King Jr. This is the night that our oppressor has set aside to thank him for everything that he did for them, which is the lesson to learn about Martin Luther King Jr. He's celebrated in America because he absolutely helped America. He, however, did not help black people, and I'll prove that by quoting Martin Luther King Jr. himself, who said that very phrase. He said that integration helped America, but it did not help black people. I'll play that tonight, and we'll go into Martin Luther King Jr. and answer all of your varied questions about every topic. You ready, Yediah?
Brother wanted a general breakdown of Deuteronomy. Brother wanted a general breakdown of Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 1. It's like it's just Chardina Penaway wanted to tell me I have a breakdown of Deuteronomy 14 and verse 1.
No problem. Anybody has a drink in here, I'll take one. It is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. So I have a drink. I have a dream too. I have a dream I can get a drink in about 5 seconds. All right, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Mm-hmm. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Right, that's speaking about cutting off your eyebrows or balding your head for the dead, meaning what the conscious community would call doing it for the ancestors. That's doing it for the dead. You do it because you're balding your head for the ancestors. That is a sin against God, to bald your head, cut your flesh, cut off your eyebrows for the ancestors, meaning for dead people. for your dead great-great-great-grandmother and great-grandfather, that's unlawful. That's an Egyptian custom. And the Most High God didn't free you for you to continue to be in mental slavery. That's what Harriet Tubman said. Harriet Tubman said, I freed thousands of slaves, and I would have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. That's when slavery gets truly destructive, when you don't realize you're in slavery. Well, to leave Egypt and to continue the customs of the Egyptians would be to continue slavery voluntarily. That's unlawful. You cannot do that. You can't cut yourself for your ancestors the way the Ethiopians do and the Nigerians do, and bulge yourself and bulge your eyes for the, for the varied African tribes. We left Egypt to get rid of that, all right? Upstairs, if you don't mind, Warrior. Is that good? Next.
Come, sir. Officer Yakuwam out of Louisiana said, Slocky General, if I could, I got to break down Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 12 and 13, and an understanding of verse 16, the same chapter.
Go ahead.
Come, sir. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 12. These shall stand upon Mount Gizrim to bless the people when ye are come over Jordan, Simeon and Levi and Judah, and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin. And these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel with a loud voice.
What is this? I can't recall what this is. Is this when half of Simeon went on the other side of Jordan and the other half stayed? This doesn't sound like that. It'll jog my memory in a second, brother. I can't recall what this is about. I think I'm thinking about a few different things, but I can't remember, all right? It'll come back to me. Don't sweat it, all right? In a minute, I'll remember. For now, let's pass it, all right? Go ahead.
I.S.U.P.K. Buffalo asks, sir, can I get a general breakdown of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3 and 4?
Go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3 and 4.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Let's skip above it 2 verses, please.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. I charge thee, therefore, before God and the Lord Jesus Christ, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom.
The quick and the dead, the term quick means alive or living, and the dead. Keep going.
Verse 2. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove.
I'm assuming I don't have to break down quick and the dead. That's not literal. I'll just keep going, however, telling you what you should be doing. You're alive, so you should be teaching. Teaching what? Read that again.
Okay. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season.
Be instant. Instant is like consistent, right? You're consistent. You're instant in season and out of season, meaning when it's a good time to teach and when it's a bad time to teach. This has nothing to do with weather. I'm fine, Warrior. I remember fake Israelite groups would break this down saying, you got to teach in the rain. You got to teach in the snow because the Bible says do it in season, meaning April, out of season, meaning February. This is not talking about that, all right, young man? This is speaking about when it's a good time to do it or when it's a bad time to do it. What's a bad time to do it? When you're in a place where you can get some negative repercussion for teaching, you still have to find a way to do it, right? When you're in a place when there's a good repercussion for teaching, then of course you do it. You got to do it whether it's a bad time or a good time. Everyone understands. Go ahead.
Reprove, rebuke.
We had to teach through COVID. You churches had the liberty to, to go sit down and wonder how this could happen to you when you told everyone that everything was going to be all right. But the UPK had to teach through COVID. We had no choice. It was a bad time to teach, a bad time to do it. We had to teach through Barack Obama's presidency, when blacks and Latinos were in love with America. They were in love with America for about 6 years. And we had to teach. We had to teach through the presidency of Donald Trump, who sent the FBI to our homes and put us on a list of groups who are black radical groups that are a danger to America. Followed us all throughout the country. We had to teach during the time of Donald Trump's presidency, when he specifically sent the Justice Department against the Israelite school of UPK. We had to do it. We didn't have any choice. Be instant, in season or out of season. Go ahead.
Exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Exhort, meaning you want to raise up. You want to teach. You want to blaze. Like that's exhort is like to command. Keep going.
Verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Why? Because there's coming a time when they're not going to want to hear you. So because of that, you're going to have the kind of spirit to teach that can only be born through teaching in conflict. It's a UPK bedrock spirit to be able to not just teach to the choir, but to teach to people who don't want to hear it. You see, the Christians, they can teach to the choir. They can teach to a room full of adoring women who are screaming hallelujah and dancing at every word they say. Oh, they're able to teach them. But in the Israelite school of UPK, we say a thing that people don't want to hear. They don't want sound doctrine. We're telling you that integration was a mistake. It was wrong. Guess who else said it? Martin Luther King said it was wrong. You don't want to hear what we have to say about integration because you're indoctrinated with some lie about Martin Luther King that was never true, right? You don't want to hear it. We still have to say it. And we're taught to say things when people don't want to hear it. Keep going.
But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers.
That's all they're going to do. They're going to do what? After their own lust, heap to themselves teachers. That's Martin Luther King. People don't want to hear sound doctrine. We're telling you to fix your own community, keep the money in your own community. Don't integrate, because then that, of course, will strengthen the American economy. That's what it will do. Don't integrate. Segregate deeper. Segregate with a purpose, with love, with kindness, with care. Do you know, I got to ask Alexa this. Alexa, how many Dunkin' Donuts are owned by Indians in the Northeast?
From newsstory.com. Today, Super Donuts has 14 standard.
Alexa, how many Dunkin' Donuts franchises do East Indians own in the Northeast of America? Oh, someone can ask the question. I think it might be up to the 90%, or it might be 100. It's that ridiculous. The East Indians didn't integrate. They picked the business and they all own the business. The Germans don't own Dunkin' Donuts. The Chinese don't own Dunkin' Donuts. The East Indians segregated to that one thing, and they did it, and they do all of them. Someone can look up on their phone. But guess what? That's sound doctrine, but you hate us for saying it. You hate us for saying it. But you heap to yourselves leaders according to your lust. You pick a leader because he tells you what you want to hear, because he tells you you can be what you want to be. You can have relations with what you want to have relations with. You can eat what you want to eat. You can love who you want to love. You can do it, and that's why you pick your leader. This is in the Bible. Read it one more time, please, officer, that last part.
But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers.
You know what it means to heap? Like you pile teachers to yourself. Pile them up according to your lust, not God, not the word of God, not because they're teaching something that is good and decent and stable, that is sound, but you just really love how he sings. And that's that. You really enjoy the fact that you can be an alternative lifestyle person, that you can be a greedy pig that eats all manner of things that slaves used to eat 100 years ago that you still cannot let go of. And that's why you chose him to be your teacher. Keep going.
Having
1 second, you died. You died.
Come on. It's 95% in the Northeast region and 50% in the Midwest.
Did you hear what your diet just said? 95% in the Northeast. What's the Northeast? You start up around Boston, Connecticut, and you just go all the way down to Florida. And you go all the way over New York, all of those on the East Coast, which is what the Northeast is, the East Coast. 95% by one race of people. One race of people owns 95% of the Dunkin' Donuts franchises, 50% everywhere else. We could have done that. Do you understand? If not for Martin Luther King, we could have did that. We could have segregated into the donut business, into this business. And now you wouldn't, your children wouldn't say, am I going to have to sell drugs or go on OnlyFans? Because all of us own Dunkin' Donuts franchises. 95% owned by one race. In a country where racism is illegal in business, where it's illegal to get a business or do business on the basis of racism. How in the hell does the one race own 95% of the same damn business? There's only one way that can be done. Voluntary segregation. They weren't forced to do it. The Indian people decided we're going to do this. And the government saw they wanted to do it. And the government has assisted them in doing it. Help them to do it. You get oppressed if you open up a hot dog stand or want to sell a pair of sneakers on the internet. You die. Keep going.
Indians also own 70% of Subway franchises in the eastern and northern Massachusetts.
70% in the east and northern Massachusetts. 70% of every Subway. 70? How is it possible? It is illegal to give anybody preference according to race in America. They just did it because they wanted to, and the government helped them. The government helped them. You could have done the same thing, but your leaders give you the kind of sexual desires that please you. So congratulations. You can have a lot of sex in church. That much you get. You definitely get all the sex that you want with whatever you want to have sex with. That he gave you. That Martin Luther King gave you. And you can eat any and everything, no matter whether or not it spreads COVID-19 throughout the planet Earth. You can still do it. I gotta go. We're done with this. What's the breakdown he wanted? Is it right here?
It was 3 and 4, sir. Right.
We read it?
We read the end of 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Having itching ears.
Having itching ears is like you're itching to hear something that sounds good. That's what itching ears is. Itching ears is what you get in church. You get in church and you just love, dude. Let me just hear what makes me feel good. Your ears are itching for your lust to be satisfied by what you hear. And those preachers, they satisfy your itching ears. I had a dream. That black girls and white girls. It just satisfies you deep down in your soul because your ears are itching to hear it. God loves you no matter what you do. Really? He loves me regardless of whatever I do. Ooh, that just satisfied me in my ear. That's just what I want to hear. God is unconditional love. Whoa, that is just what I was looking for this Sunday, Pastor. It's like having a good song that makes you feel better. You know, you hear a song giving you what you want, satisfying you. It gives you what you're looking for. You're a woman. Your husband left you. He left you, girl. He's a dog. Thank you, R&B music. I knew he was a dog. I knew he was no good. You're a man. I want to shoot and rob and sell drugs. Thank you, hip-hop music. You're giving me exactly what I look for. They're satisfying you. They're giving you what you want. So is the preacher. So was Martin Luther King. I'm going to play it in a second. You know that's coming. Keep going.
Verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth.
And they will do what?
Turn away their ears from the
I
truth.
think that's about right. I think that's what I just said. They don't want to hear what is true. They want to be satisfied, like you looking for your favorite music that you want to listen to. It's just what you agree with already. And preachers just give you what you already like. Everybody gets it. All right. That's the point, if that's the question. Next.
Allah Yahweh, Salaki, sir, if I may ask.
God, do me a favor, word. Go on. Go ahead. I'm complete.
When people leave the school, are we to continue calling them by their Hebrew name given by the school? Also, should we continue to talk to them after they have left?
I need you to button that for me if you don't mind. I appreciate it. What's the question again? First button. Yeah, please.
Allah Yahweh, Salaki, sir, if I may. When people leave the school, are we to continue calling them by their Hebrew name given by the school?
Okay, well, the official stance of the UPK is we don't care who you talk to. You want to talk to someone and left the truth, go ahead and do it. It doesn't really matter to us. I know a lot of fake Israelite groups and religions, they care about, who you talk to. You talk to your mother, she's a piece of trash. Talk to the cat that left the truth too, who cares? Talk to whoever you want to talk to. You talk to that cousin of yours, don't you? Well, he's a child herder, a child abuser. You talk to him, who cares? Talk to whoever you want to talk to. You're just responsible for what your actions. You're responsible for what you do. So just know that. No one is going to, find out if you're talking to someone that left the school. You can talk to them every night of the week. Hell, maybe talking to them, you'll help them to come back into the truth. Lord knows I will never try to get them to come back into the truth. So somebody got to, because I won't talk to them. If they were in front of me, I will ignore them. If their baby was saying, please give me food, please. My mommy left the school and now she's a prostitute. I will step over that child and that whore, that lady of the evening. But you talk to her because somebody got to. So you're free to talk to her. It's not, you've done nothing wrong. You will not be brought to counsel. It is not a trespass. You're fine. Okay? But you're responsible for what you do. Just know that. If that's the question, that's the answer. All right? Go ahead.
Sister asked, Shapara Yahweh asked, Lottie girl I made. In Hebrews 10:9, what does it mean when it says he taketh away the first that he may establish the second?
You better read that to me, please.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 9. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
Then go 2 verses up so I can catch the context.
Verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book it is written of me, to do thy will, O God. Verse 8. Above when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hadst pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. Verse 9. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
Keep going.
Verse 10. By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ.
Got it. No problem. Throughout it. Start from where his question was.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 9. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will.
This is in Hebrews? Right. This is about the priesthood. That's the first and the last. What he took away was the Levitical priesthood. He took that away. That's gone. That was a priesthood that was not profitable to us. That's in the book of Hebrews. How it was not profitable. It was the commandment of the flesh. Whoever was born a Levite was a priest. You had to be from the seed of Aaron. That is the commandment of the flesh. Your penis, your sperm, your seed. He did that for a greater commandment, which was the covenant of the Spirit that he made with the entire nation of Israel. In the past, only a Levite could be priest. He took away the first to establish the last. The last priesthood is the priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, which is what Jesus Christ is the high priest over today. That's what this is about. That's what a lot of the book of Hebrews is about, period. And especially 7. But a lot, where we at 10? Where we at right now? Yeah, a lot of 10 is all about establishing the validity and the authority of the priesthood under Yahawashi Christ, Jesus Christ, and taking away the authority of the Levitical priesthood. They were collecting the tithes. Hebrews is telling you they shouldn't be getting tithes anymore. But this new priesthood, this last priesthood, should be receiving tithes. That's what Hebrews, the 7th chapter, is about. All right? That's what Hebrews 10 is about. Next.
Trooper and the one y'all asked, can I get a breakdown of how it will be with Christ's return?
You might need to give me a little more. What do you mean by that? In general or something in specific? Your everyday life? Is that what he means? Just try to explain to me what he means. See me one more time, please, Warrior. Who's ever on this? Go ahead. Put a little more tonic in this, please, too.
Come as Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. Come as Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. You find me worthy to answer my question, my Lord. Did the Hawaiian play?
Well asked question. Give him a hand. Such dignity and manners. Learn some manners. I know you didn't learn manners around your house. You were raised by 2 alley cats fighting over a rat. Now here you're going to learn some manners in here. Learn how to speak. Well done. Well said. Go ahead.
He said, did the Hawaiians play a part in our slavery? And is a medium rare, medium well steak unlawful to eat?
Okay, the Hawaiians, of all of the nations of Israel, the Hawaiians oppressed us the least. Did they have a part in our slavery? Absolutely. They had a part in our slavery under what are called the Greeks today. A long time ago, they were called the Macedonians. The Macedonian Empire was an empire of Japhetic people. The Hawaiians are a Japhetic people, and they absolutely hurt and went to war with our people under Alexander's father, not under Alexander's father, under the king that was before Alexander's father. The so-called oppressor took over Macedonia, conquered it, and then called himself the Macedonians, much like he did it in this country as well, in like Europe and every other country. He conquers countries and then names himself after the country. A thief and a vagabond shall he be throughout the earth. When he speaketh of a lie, he speaketh of himself. He conquered Macedonia, called himself the Macedonians. But before King Philip of Macedon, King Hawaki, different kings that have very similar names to Polynesian names and Hawaiian names today. One to my memory is King Hawaki. And they absolutely oppressed and hurt the Israelites. Not as much as others, but they did it. Is it a sin to eat medium rare or well done? No, it is not a sin if it is not bloody. Here's what's a sin, is to drink or eat the blood of anything. So technically, a medium rare steak, and I'm speaking just about what the technical term for medium rare is. That red that you see in there is not blood, that rare. It's just people say it's blood just because they don't know. A quick test is just to press it with your finger. If what runs out on the plate is red, then that's blood. If when you press it with your finger, if the juices are clear, that's not blood. It's a chemical reaction to the heat from the juices staying in the meat, which makes it red, that red color inside of meat. Now I'm speaking in general. If you're making a steak at home, you can absolutely make it rare by mistake. So I'm just giving you the test. You take it, it looks medium rare to you, it's pink. If you press it and there's blood on the plate, that is blood, and you got to cook that steak a little more, right? If when you press it, if the juices run clear, then that is not blood. That pink color is not blood. It's like any open wound. If it was a cut open wound, I press it, here comes the blood. If I press it and there's nothing comes out, that's not blood. It's just the color of the cooking process and where you stopped it from cooking, all right? You can eat a steak however you feel like eating it. You know, well done, super well done, leather, however you want to have it. Or you can eat it medium rare. That is absolutely lawful. Here's what's unlawful. I wish I remembered his name in Spanish. I will remember to do my Spanish now. Sanguine, blood sausage. Alexa, how do you say blood sausage in Spanish? Alexa, what is Spanish for blood sausage? Y'all look it up in your phone, all right? Sanguine something, right? It's blood or porcia or some mess like that. Different tribes have different names for it. It's when they gather the blood up and cook the blood. They cook it and make a sausage out of it. That is unlawful, even though the blood is cooked. Why? Because the Bible says when thou killest an animal and you cut its throat, you have to let the blood run on the ground as water. So you can't hold blood to cook with. What's the name?
Morcia.
Morcia. That's unlawful. Because to make the blood sausage, you have to collect the blood in a bowl, hold it, and then mix it together and shove it in the sausage casing, which is always pork anyway, that sausage casing for that blood sausage, all right? But that process of holding it is directly against the law because the blood has to just get run down the drain. You get some chicken out, some meat, let it out your drain. You don't hold it and keep it. Holding it and keep it would make it unlawful. Go ahead. You die.
E. Maximus said in the West Indies they call it black pudding.
Black pudding is another name that the Benjamite, they call it that over in London as well, in England. Black pudding, that's the same thing. That is unlawful because they kept it and held it to make sausage out of. Right? You can look these things up that I just told you. Next.
Princess Kaya asked, Salaam, sir, in Isaiah 26 and 19, is it saying the people are dead because they have no understanding of the truth, and of the true meaning of following the commandments of God?
Let's hear it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 22, verse 19.
26 and 19.
So it's like 26, verse 19. The dead shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust.
That's exactly what it's talking about. This dead is figurative. It's spiritually dead, the way you and I were dead in the world, the way your family is dead right now. Worshiping Martin Luther King, living in a ghetto, in a hovel, praising the American experience, praising the sacrifice of Martin Luther King while the police unalive you in the streets every day. Let me show you Martin Luther King's work. Give me the video about what the sheriff said yesterday, 2 days ago. This video is not from 2000. It's not from 1963. This video is from about 3 days ago. All right, you can just get it. I'll keep answering questions while you're doing that. All right. Anything else, officer?
If I could, with the woman that was in Tobit.
The woman in Tobit. Go ahead.
Was she committed a sin when they was dying?
She was unaliving them.
Because I'm asking, like, why something didn't happen to her? What happened to them?
Shoot.
That's my real question.
Oh, why didn't she get punished at that time? Well, there was different times in the Bible that we were not at the state when we had people to punish her. The Israelites, our law was only the law after Moses. You understand? Until Moses came, our law was not, it was not the law of the land before Moses. It was something that people did, people just decided to do. But sometimes they didn't do it. Moses established a state that kept the law. And of course, then he had priests who would come in and establish the law. At that time, we had judges over Israel. There was a time before that we had just had fathers and sons teaching each other, like during the time of Cain and Abel, right? What does the law say to do with someone that unalive someone unjustly? Officer. They have to be unalived. What happened to Cain? He did not get unalived, right? The judgment was for him to go be exiled. He went and lived in the mountains. That could happen at that time because it was before the law of Moses. Do you get my point? So that's the case with the woman in Tobit. She unalived 7 cats, and the father just hid the bodies. Because who was going to find out? There was no, court. There was no priest. The father just went and dug a hole. After Tobias married her, he got up in the morning and got a shovel to go hide another body. But this man was alive and his daughter was free. You understand? Let me show you people that are dead. Now, this is last week. This might be like 3 days ago or 2 days ago. All right? Now, remember this on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. On a day of, this is a day of what? I'm supposed to go out and help people. What is it called? A day of service. That's how you celebrate Martin Luther King Day. A day of service. Tell me what city this is, if you don't mind. Louisiana. Go ahead and play it. Listen carefully, everyone.
State prison, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, and we keep a few, or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that we say.
Pause. Now, I don't even know if people understand what he just said. This is the sheriff in Louisiana, and he's complaining about prison reform because they're letting prisoners out of jail who are nonviolent, good prisoners. You ever heard of good time? You go into jail and you accumulate good time. Meaning you get in there and you become some type of one of those stewards in there or custodians in prison, and now you have good time and you're nonviolent and you're doing what's right. You're a good model prisoner. This sheriff is complaining because they're letting out the good ones, because the good ones wash cars, do dishes, clean this, clean that. We need those good ones because they can work. It is 2023. Martin Luther King. I got to celebrate his birthday. We're still in slavery today. No, I think we have better role models. I think we can find better men of God than him because he had a lot of nasty sex in hotels. I think we can find better civil rights leaders because his movement was based on Mahatma Gandhi and what Mahatma Gandhi did in India. And I absolutely think we can find men who are more accomplished than him. I have a good one for you, Commanding General Yohanna, brother. You need somebody to follow. If that's what you're looking for, who do you follow? Martin Luther King? You're still in slavery. Commanding General Yohanna's record is better than Martin Luther King. It's a better record. I'll play it one more time. Again, play it nice and loud. I don't think everyone heard it. I'm not sure if they can hear it online or not.
What was that echo?
One more time, then you want me to do something to fix the echo?
Oh, I'm gonna play it on. Play it for us, and I'm gonna play it on.
Go ahead. Let me know when you want me to begin. Please, officer.
And if I could, on what you bringing out, you know what I'm saying?
They are a
got
necessary
that,
evil to
prison.
keep the doors out there. I don't walk place out there. I don't
It's like Angola or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Angola, yeah.
They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change the oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well,
and you work in the kitchen and you got model time where they damn near give you the keys to the place. They're never going to let you go because you work so well. If you're not a prisoner and you look for a job in McDonald's or a car wash, you can't get that job because you're not in jail. So now you, as a free man who has never committed a crime, a prisoner is taking your job. So then you can't even get a job. So then you will do what? When you can't find a job, you'll commit crime, then you'll have a job. Doing the same job you could have done if you never committed crime. That is hellish, the thing I just described. It's hell. It's like a Twilight Zone movie. It's like a nightmare that someone should write a movie about. It's like, what's that movie everybody loves? Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out. It's like that, for real. It's like something terrifying. When you're trying to get a job, you go into the car wash. No, we got a prison furlough program. They wash the cars. Can I work in McDonald's? No. The prison furlough program. They work in McDonald's. Walmart? No, the prison furlough. Damn, I can't do anything. I can't get a job. I start selling drugs. I start stealing cars. I get arrested, and then I'm in Walmart working. That is a movie. That's hell. That is where you're living. And it's not a movie. It is happening right now. Please.
Well, good, sir. We did a story, and GEN.YAHANNA broke it down so eloquently, how prisoners in Arizona and California that are firefighters actually out there. And then when they get out, they can't even get jobs as firemen
because they're felons.
Years of experience.
Because you're a firefighter in prison. You get out of prison, and then you can't be a firefighter because you're a felon. And so the only way you can be a firefighter is to be a felon. My head is going to explode. You know, that's what that would mean. I'd have to commit the felony. Then I could be a fireman. But once I get out, I can't be a fireman because I'm a felon. But if I'm a felon, I can be a fireman. My head will pop off in the middle of this class. Captain.
Put out the fire, never start a fire.
Put out, give him a hand. I got to first burn somebody's house down. Then I can go be a fireman. If they let me out, then I can't be a fireman anymore. Play the video one more time. So, go ahead.
Stay pretty, okay? Place out there, I don't care. Stay pretty. You are unnecessary evil to keep the doors open that we keep a few. Place out there, I don't care. Stay pretty, okay? They are unnecessary evil to keep the doors open that we keep a few or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash and work with these programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change the oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to.
Yeah, happy Martin Luther King Day. You know, I had a dream. I guess this was it. I guess this was it. Officer, please.
If I could, like my knowledge of slavery and all of these slaves, that's a white man who loves his slave. Like he don't want to let his slave go. Like he's gonna fight a war over it. That's what he's doing.
Oh yeah. I'll be bringing that out this Thursday in Harlem, in the history of slavery and how slavery is the reason and the engine to everything. Slavery in America was a larger piece of the economy than cotton, sugar, and steel combined. There was nothing more important than slavery. Slavery was the reason for the Revolutionary War. It was the reason. There would have been no rebellion against England if England didn't outlaw slavery. England outlawed slavery, and then the South was terrified that slaves would join the British and be freed by the British. And that's why the Southern states came together to revolt against England. Why am I making this up? You know, I'm going to have the book that says it. I'm going to have the history book that says that is the reason for the Revolutionary War in America. The British were outlawing slavery and beginning to come against slavery. And slaves began to take advantage of it. We'll go into that, right? Once again, just to piggyback on what the officer is saying about this devil, it is extremely difficult to even make an oppressor understand your right to be a human, because he has enjoyed a relationship with Black people and Hispanics for so long that has made him superior. And he doesn't even really look at them like men who have paid their debt to society. They're a thing that belong to him. It's like if you went in your house and you saw your dog sitting at the dining room table eating. If you could get that, that's what they look at you. You walk in the house and go, what the heck is going on around here? The dog is sitting at the table, licking off the plate. What would you do? You get out of here. Get down off that table, you damn dog. What's your problem? You wouldn't just go, well, the dog sits at the table now. The dog gets to sit and eat at the table. You would never allow that because you have enjoyed a relationship with the canine species for thousands of years where dogs serve you. They protect you. You feed them and pet them, but your relationship is master and dog. They can't even understand you being a human. It's something that is, you could try to make them get it and try to make them get it, but they can't understand it. It's like you trying to accept a dog eating from your table, sitting in your chair. It was a term we used to have a long time ago. The people used to say in the South, when you were from Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, and you went to Louisiana, and you went to Alabama, you know what they would say? Stay woke. That's where that term comes from. Because you'd be up from the north, and you might not understand that you can't drive around there all stupid. You can't look at who you want to look at. You can't act like that. You better be careful. You better stay woke up. Then the saying began to come back when that movie came out I just talked about. What's that movie I talked about? Get Out. Well, you better stay woke around white people. Don't act like white people are just your friends and you can just go to their house and sit around and eat dinner and drink tea. That is from the 50s. Where you going out? Are you going to Virginia for the summer? All right, stay woke out there, man. You going out tonight? Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke wasn't about being an LGBT person. It wasn't about being a Democrat. You had to stay alert about the danger of being around white people. That is what you had to stay woke from. Because if you're acting all silly and stupid and partying, you're going to end up in this sheriff's arms. Now, because of men like Martin Luther King, our struggle is a slogan, something like that, a day for people to sing on, sing about, I guess. We'll go into Martin Luther King a little more in a second, all right? Let me get you, Di. You had your hand up earlier. Marad, go ahead.
All right, sir, if I may, what you just said, they put that in the movie. I forget the name of that movie. He said the master set a place for the dog at his table. So that was in the actual movie. That was a quote, and the brothers and sisters, they had put it out on like Facebook. I asked about it. They put it out there. The name of the movie, I forget it, but he said those exact words. He said the master set a place for the dog at the table.
Listen, Lyndon Johnson had a famous quote that I love. He said, if you want to steal the money from a poor white person, just tell him that he's better than a black person. If you make sure he knows he's better, you can rip his pockets clean. Let me make sure. Alexa, what was Lyndon Johnson's quote about poor white people and black people?
I don't know any Lyndon B. Johnson poverty calling for home.
No, Alexa, what was Lyndon Johnson's quote about poor white people and black people?
I don't know any Lyndon B. Johnson poverty calling for home white people. The movie.
Alexa, stop. Someone just found it. It's about easy to find as you can possibly understand. Go ahead, Morel.
Also, too, sir, on the second note, I don't know if you remember when we covered the story with the two catchers in Philly meeting a investor at the Starbucks, and they got on about sitting.
That was in Philly. They better stay woke. You better. You walk around acting like you're equal to white people, like you one of them. You dating white girls, drinking in white bars. They'll be dragging you behind their car. You better stay woke. I know that means something different now, but I'm just giving you a history lesson, all right? All right, next. Someone can find me the Lyndon B. It's Lyndon B. Johnson. I'm good to go, Warrior. Lyndon B. Johnson. If you want to get the vote or take advantage of a white man, just tell him that he's better than a poor black man. If you do something, you could rip his pockets clean. Like you could take every penny he has. Lyndon Johnson said this. He said this, my God, back in 67, something like that, 68.
Sir.
Nice and loud.
Tell
Tell him who said it.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson, for those of you that don't know, he succeeded John F. Kennedy in the presidency. He was John F. Kennedy's vice president. When John F. Kennedy was unalived, he was made president to finish out John Kennedy's term. And then he won his own term, all right? So this is the former president of the United States. He said this quote while he was president. Listen carefully. Go ahead.
If you convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket.
We're going to read let's taste every word of that, because that is true today. Did you see all those black men behind that sheriff officer? You didn't notice them, did you? They was like wallpaper. Put it back up on the screen again. You don't even see him there. He was straddled. He was bracketed by 4 Negroes standing there going, we need them. We need us. We need us in jail. Go ahead.
Now, if I could, I wanted to say that earlier. Like, it's so many of our people that we are convinced that we are the dog.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have our own table or
Yeah.
be at any table. And when we go out and we teach, that's really what we fight against. It's our people that think they're the dog.
Can I tell you how much worse it is? We think that our own people are dogs so much that we don't even feel anger unless it's another black man. There's a feeling that people outside of people in the UPK, you don't feel like this because the spell has been broken from you. You've been delivered from this. But people in the world, your brothers and sisters out there, there's an anger that is reserved for black people that they do not even feel if the person is not black. That's what Cat Williams' situation was about. You see, Cat Williams feels a resentment that he does not feel for a white comedian. He doesn't even feel it. It's not like he's hiding it or suppressing it. He doesn't feel it. He only feels anger for a face that reminds him of his own. So in his mind, only black comedians are undeserving of fame. Only black comedians wear dresses? Do I have to pull up 100 white men in dresses right here? I'll do it for you if you need me to. I'll pull up Cary Grant. I'll go back in the 30s and see white comedians wearing dresses from the 30s to the 60s. I'll show you Tom Hanks in a TV show called Bosom Buddies, where all of them, everybody wore dresses all the time, period. I'll show you La Caja Fall. It's a movie and there was a play. White comedians have always worn dresses, have always done it forever. But the only ones that make him mad are them niggas that do it. I wonder why Will Smith chose to smack that person. You understand, right? That feeling he felt, he will not feel that for a white man. Well, if a white man says the same thing, he goes, oh boy, you know. Well, funny, Jim. A black man says that there is something bubbling in him that has to get up and smack him in his face. It has to. You don't even feel anger because a dog cannot bite his master. Do you understand? Dogs can't do that. He won't even be angry at a black man. He won't even do it at all. I'm sorry. He won't even be angry at a white man, but he absolutely will be angry at himself. Sister.
So I had to get in the way with my original school. She was being pushed, so she defended herself. So when teachers told her, "Oh, I bet your parents in my home to raise you," so angry. So she turned around and she turned around and looked at her. She's like, "Oh, so I guess white people are so sensitive because they can stand up for themselves." So they were like, "Okay, we need to eat explain what happened to school." I said, "But what you said was a racist, but what she said really offended you that she didn't keep her school district." I said, are we really playing this game?
Mm-hmm.
Are we really playing this game? She said, "Excuse me, what are you?" So I love my shit.
You know it. Give her a hand.
So I just had to sit on my chest. I said, "What does that mean?"
I'm right.
So I told her, look, just be bougie. I said, be bougie. I said, be bougie. The teacher said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "She bougie but ghetto, but be bougie." because white people are so offended. It was like, don't teach. So I'm like, don't teach her. Don't you teach her? I said, I'm not teaching her nothing. Like, all this, like, she defends herself, so she don't have a parent at home to raise her. She doesn't have discipline. No, it's hard to be that.
Give her a hand. Good job, baby girl. Good job. And you know, of course, sister, as a member of the UPK, I'm not sure if you have your Hebrew name yet, but we absolutely can send some brothers down to the school to talk to the principal and to make them understand that this child should be treated with respect like every other child. You get the point. That's something that we've done 1,000 times. But what the sister is saying is absolutely correct, that our people and white people have a relationship that is so old that it's hard to break. Let me give you another one that should blow your mind. People hate us when they hear us speaking on the street, don't they? Why? What do they say about you? What do you do all day? Yelling. All you niggas do is what? Yell on the street corner. Why are you out here yelling like that? Have you been in a black house before? Raise your hand if you've been in a black house. You ever hear any yelling in there? About how much? Have you been to a black movie theater? Right? Can you even watch the damn movie? No. Do you understand that because we're yelling at white people, it is hurting the ears of black people. It hurts their ears. They leave from the camp. Y'all niggas, shut up with all that yelling. Stop yelling like that. They get in that car and they're going to yell at their wife and their child the entire way home. They're going to yell in the movie theater. They're going to argue and fight in the house. And the police are going to have to come because the argument gets so loud. But they hate us because we're yelling. I don't think that's the real reason. I think it's who we're yelling at. Do you understand? I think you'll be fine with us yelling at black people. You love it. You join us. We'd all get in a big argument out here in the street. But because we make white people uncomfortable, it makes you uncomfortable. Everybody understands, all right? You die.
What kills me, sir, when we be out there teaching, most of the time they start yelling at us.
They don't mind yelling at us. I think they're fine. Just go in the house one time with them. And you'll hear more yelling than a camp ever has. Go ahead. I'll go about 5-10 more minutes. Let me get my Mi Espanol together. All right. Go ahead, Up. Any more questions?
That's it for the question.
That's it. All right, maybe I should wrap it then. So the sister didn't get home. Is it snowing bad out there?
Yeah, it's coming down more than it was earlier.
All right, let me wrap it for the sister, all right? 1 second. Go ahead, Warrior.
If I could, right, I was having a talk with some brothers and sisters about polygyny, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they was going off basically saying, you know what I'm saying, this ghetto polygyny, what black people do, it's all ghetto, it ain't the man not rich and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there telling them, I'm like, the monogamy that you think you're practicing, for one, is not really monogamy the way you think. Because you just trading off people over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
You don't have a respect for the person you marry, so you end up being divorced. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like versus polygyny, I'm sitting there and I'm breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
But then some people from other countries came and it was like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started saying that their people are starting to lean towards a more American way. And I started doing a little bit more research and it's like we're the only people that understand this. This is what I'm getting at. It's so bad that the oppressive brainwashing is going on everybody else. It's destroying other people's cultures in their country. And we the only people that see like, no, we're going to go back to our original ways. We don't have our original ways. And that's how we're going to be strong. That's what the Bible says.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying? We get into a polygyny and it's like a woman don't even understand that a man is diligent. You know, he's never going to try to stay with you. He's never going to do it. And you think that you're being free by sleeping with him, but really you don't care about him. Versus in here, we really would care about you because I know if I lay down with you, I have to keep you. You see what I'm saying? But our people are so brainwashed that the women don't see that at all. Hey, so go with this dude, then go with this dude, then go with this dude, then marry this dude, then leave him, then give another dude, then give another, and it's just a cycle that repeats. And our people can't even understand how brainwashed they are, and they think that the brainwashing is benefits.
Well, give the officer a hand. What he's saying is so true. And okay, even to have a battle over monogamy and polygyny is a battle that they're deciding to get in because they are not monogamous.
Right.
That people in the world are not monogamous at all.
Right.
That's why they have children with so many different men. If they were monogamous, there of course would be one father to all these kids. You can't say you're monogamous if you break up with a woman and have sex with another woman, then break up with her. I'm watching The World Who Loves. What's that woman that's with that cat that played in them Black Panther movies? Not Black Panther movies. Who is that?
That's the one that keep getting the distribution and everybody cheer on.
Okay, damn it. I'm always bad with these names with the kids' movies. Is the one he played in the Ant-Man.
Oh, Jonathan Major.
Jonathan Major, and he has a black woman that's with him.
Right now.
And she's with him now, and she goes to all the court hearings with him. Now, for sure, that looks like the same woman that I remember seeing with some other brothers supporting him. Who is that?
She was married to a preacher before.
I knew she was. She was married to some preacher. She was always on the internet holding his hand, talking about their love affair and how their love was so strong as ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river low enough. Now, she loves him and she supports him, and ain't no mountain high enough and ain't no river low enough. That's monogamy. Is that it? So you telling me some woman that goes on every TV show is in love with her husband saying God put them together and their marriage is forged in the Holy Spirit and God loves them, and then breaks up with him and gets with somebody else and says, God put me with you and I'm going to support you through everything. That's your monogamy? Having sex with 10 men? I don't know if you can count, bit woman. That's not, monogamy means mono, which is one. You can't love him and God put us together. Then what, in 6 months, be with a new man and be his world and be everything he needs and support him in his time of struggle? That's more than one. What in the F are we even talking about? So even that, they put you like in a situation where they believe in one mate. You believe in multiple. We both believe in multiple. Both of us. The difference is our women are with one man. Our women are monogamous. Your women are multipleless. Your women are. Our men stay with every woman that they touch or they don't touch her. Our lifestyle is far more disciplined, far more moral, and more successful. Everyone understands. Come on, officer, go.
But I could real quick, and I was bringing it out. I was like, if a brother chooses to stay with one woman in here, he's closer to what you're calling monogamous than you. You will date a man, leave him, and get another man, and then go back to your ex and say you're monogamous.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna break. Listen, they'll have sex with another man on a break. Have you heard this term? There's this term called a. Boy, they get it all, don't they? And it's like, what a loophole! That's a hell of a loophole. And they're still monogamous. When you have, yeah, but that was on a break when we did that, when I did all that. Damn. So is a break like a dimension? Like, is it the break like you went into another dimension where you was never with him? But then, of course, since it's a break, you're planning on going back to him because you're not actually broken up. You're on a break, which means you can have sex with other men. But I'm the polygynist? You sure? I don't know. You might need a calculator.
Right.
I have got to go, sis. I'm sorry.
They call it hall pass.
They call it a hall pass. Give her a hand. A hall pass. I heard that one as well. A hall pass. All right, with that, hold on one second. Un momento. Stand by. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Soy tú y estos son los anuncios. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York. Harlem, Nueva York. Desde 1969, debajo del comando de el General Yahanna. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres latino, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido, Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. Pero su iglesia tiene todo la culpa de lo que nos está pasando. With that, pass the class over to the officer.
Walk with God. Rock. How about you now,